What's going on, Charles Botensten? So if you haven't seen part one about the top 11 things that I've learned in self-development, go back and check it out. This is part two, number one of part two, which is probably number 6. But news, TV, drama, reality TV, water cooler talk, the government, society, drama, any of that bullshit you have to get out of your life. Negativity, anyone that's negative, any classmate or teacher or boss, anything that's toxic, you have to get rid of. I always thought I needed to change them. I always thought I needed to change a friend or a colleague, or just change who they are. Not change my circumstance, but change who they are. No. You just have to eliminate, or if it's a family member, you have to just not see them as much. And it sucks and everything else, but read the top 5 regrets of the dying. The top 5 regrets of the dying. On there, in the top 5 regrets of the dying was living a life true to myself and not to what someone wanted me to live. In other words, your parents want you to go in and go to school or go to this college or become a lawyer or a doctor or an attorney or play violin, and you don't want to do it. It was living a life true to yourself and not to what other people, society, social media, your friends, especially now. I wouldn't even want to know what it's like when I was younger and living through this time. That's insane. Like, yeah, I'm more connected, but we're really connected. If I was in high school and college, number one is I don't think I would have done a couple of the things that I've done because it would have been recorded and videoed and everything else. Ridiculous high school and college experience. But that's the thing, is that you have to eliminate the news. Go and there's going to be a link to something called a Facebook newsfeed eradicator. In other words, if I pull up Facebook, a beautiful quote comes up and there's no newsfeed and there's no news. I don't see anything. So what does that mean? I don't consume Facebook. I post a lot. I don't consume it. Moving on. You can't change anyone. I was talking about this before. You can't change anyone that doesn't want to change. An alcoholic, someone that's overweight, a relationship. Say your relationship, say you want to have sex more. Honey, I want to have sex more. And they don't want to. Or you want them to be more caring or forgiving or kind or showing up, or you want them to be more emotionally stable. Like me, I wasn't a good boyfriend. I was a terrible boyfriend. Number one is I never said what I was going to do. And number 2 is I wasn't emotional. I wasn't an emotional support pillar. You know, I always thought as a guy, we're rigid. We don't talk about feelings and we don't talk about emotions. I'm not talking about being a soft little pillow, but I'm talking about not shutting down. And my ex-girlfriends, 2 of my ex-girlfriends who didn't know each other, but they both said almost the exact same thing. And I actually told my brother, listen to this. So we broke up, and then they said, you're like a rock. You're non-emotional. And I told my brother, and I was laughing about it, and he goes, yeah, Jane, his wife, I wouldn't say her name, but his wife would say, yeah, my wife says, or blah, 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 says that about me all the time. So my brother got it from his wife, and ironically enough, I got it from my brother and my parents, or my dad, I should say, because my dad's non-emotional. That's the thing, is that, going back to what I was saying before, is my dad. I wanted him to focus on his health, to be more positive, to be something. You know what it is? You have to embody it. And then if they see the change in you, they'll want to change if they're ready, if they're willing to change. I had someone in my family pass away from alcoholism. He didn't want to change. He didn't want to change. And that's what happened. So they have to be willing to change, and you can't change anyone. You can influence, but you can't change them unless they're willing to be changed, unless they're willing to go down the path of health, of wellness, of positivity, of kindness, of doing something that you feel would benefit them. Stop smoking, stop eating this garbage. All right, moving on. Morning routine is massive. I'm going to be coming out with a post. I know I've been saying it for a while, but morning routine, if you don't have a morning routine, you don't have a life. It's a fact, because everything stems from a morning routine. And I'll tell you right now, if you go out and you start boozing a lot, which I did back in the day, and probably up until a couple of months ago, depending on obviously when you watch this, up until a couple of months ago, I was boozing a lot, and then I would be hungover, and then I would go to the gym, and then I would have a shitty day. I wouldn't make sales calls, or I'd have bad appointments. You know, I own a real estate company, and that's the thing, is I didn't have a morning routine. And why do I talk about the night before? Because the night before, if I knew I was going to wake up for a morning routine, I wouldn't booze as hard. I wouldn't go out as late. I wouldn't eat what I did. So that was the thing, is everything stems from your morning routine. If you have you already have a morning routine. That's the thing. But is it good? Do you wake up and you go on social media? Do you wake up, is it on airplane mode, your phone, and then you check email? Do you snooze your alarm? Do you get out of bed immediately? Do you go to the gym? Do you have coffee? What do you do when you first wake up? Do you turn on your TV? Do you read? Do you meditate? Do you have water? Do you have lemon with water? Do you have supplements? What do you have? Do you go to the, that's the thing, is if you don't have a morning routine, you don't have a life. I'm going to bring up two more. I have a little bit of a bonus. Vision. This is the biggest thing, is this is why people don't have a purpose. They don't have a vision. They don't have a vision of what they want in their life. This is the biggest thing. You have to turn off your phone for a weekend. Go away into the mountains by yourself and just say, what do I want my life to look like? This is why people, they walk around, as I call it, in a DER state. They're walking around, they're like, oh, okay, I'm just going to work. Oh, I went to the gym yesterday, I had a glass of water and, Dude, you're walking around like an idiot. You're walking around like a schmuck. They have no purpose because they have no vision. If you had a vision, you'd have a purpose and you'd know what you would want to do every single day, which goes back to everything, which goes back to your morning routine, cutting out news. There is no end. It's a journey. It's about learning. It's about taking action. It's about removing meaning on things that you put meaning to. It's about your reaction. So make a 10-year plan, make a 5-year plan, make a 1-year plan. I have up until a 15-year plan from now, which would put me at 46. I can't even think about 46. That's insane, 46 years old. But you know what? I'll be there. I'll be there. God willing, I'll be there. So you're gonna be a year older, you're gonna be 5 years older. Did you reach that? And then you reverse engineer, what do I need to do to get that body I want, the relationship I want, the business, the health, the mindset, the money, paying down student debt, whatever the case is, you have to have a vision. All right, bonus. This is the biggest thing, is your thoughts, and I know I brought it up in the beginning, but your thoughts and your emotions are, you have to, okay, so it's very deep what I'm gonna go into. So there's someone called Brian Greene. And Brian Greene came out with this series, this 4-part series. I think it was on Channel 13, and now it's on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, it's called The Cosmos or something like that, or the Universe or something like that. And it really dials down to the smallest particles in the universe. It talks about Newton and Einstein, and it talks about everything is energy. Everything. We think this is solid, or we think this thing is solid. It's not. It's energy. It's moving energy. The Empire State Building, I'm in New York City, the Empire State Building, they said if you take all the solids, because they're dialing it down, it's all energy moving. Just so, my skin, this is all energy, it's not solid. That's like, we think that, so what I'm saying is that your thoughts are things. When you have a thought and you think it's real and you think it's you act on it. You have a thought that I'm not worthy to approach that pretty girl. I'm not enough to go speak in front of 500 people. You're right, because you have the thought and you believed it. Or you have the thought and then you say, I'm not my thoughts. I'm an observer of the thoughts that are going in my mind. I'm gonna do it anyway. So there's a lot of things that I just said there. Number one is, it's emotions and thoughts and everything that goes on in your mind are just be an observer. Just observe them. That's what meditating is. You're just observing these thoughts and these emotions and these insecurities and everything that's going on in your mind. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I don't love myself. I'm ugly. I'm fat. I'm stupid. Are just things that are just above you, and they're just clouds passing through. That's it. All right? So not only are you observing your thoughts, however, if you start believing your thoughts, they become real. I am fat. And you're going to make it true. You're going to go eat a donut. You're going to go have soda. You're not going to go to the gym. You're going to pass up the salad. That's the thing. If you start believing your thoughts, they are real. So you have to control your thoughts. You have to change your thoughts. Psycho-cybernetics and what to do or what to say when you talk to yourself. So have an awesome day. I know this was a little bit longer. However, go see part 1, and the links for the books are below. Subscribe to the video. Talk to you guys soon.